Kick-Ass Facts, Bad Schmecks in Fiction Awards. Pew, 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 pew! In an effort to not get myself banned from TikTok, I am going to have to be judicious in what I read to you and perhaps swap out some of the more colorful language. Listener discretion is advised. First, some history. The purpose of the Bad Schmecks Award, which was started in 1993, is to draw attention to poorly written or redundant passages of sexual description in otherwise decent novels. The quality sought by the judges remain the same: floridly descriptive prose, a reliance on hyperbole, anatomical confusion, and euphemism. Speaking of anatomical confusion, if you've never listened to the podcast My Dad Wrote a Porno, stop what you're doing right now. Go. I couldn't even listen to it while I was driving because I almost ran off the road. I'm probably going to mispronounce some shit. Live with it. 2019's winner, Didier Decoing's book, The Office of Garden and Ponds. Katsuro moaned as a bulge formed beneath the material of his kimono, a bulge that Mayuki seized, kneaded, massaged, squashed, and crushed. With the fondling, Katsuro's pork and beans became one single mound and rolled around beneath the grip of her hand. Mayuki felt as though she was manipulating a small monkey that was curling up its paw. His pee-pee is made of Play-Doh. Among the other shortlisted books in 2019 were The River Capture by Mary Costello. He clung to her, crying, and then made love to her and went far inside her, and as she begged him to go deeper and no longer afraid of injuring her, he went in deep in mind and body, among crowded organ cavities, past the contours of her lungs and liver, and shimmying past her heart, he felt her perfection. 2017 French writer Laurent Bidnet was heavily nominated for the seventh function of language. Bianca shivers with pleasure. Simon whispers to her with an authority he has never felt before. Let's construct an assemblage. That's hot. That reminds me, my husband and I just started watching MASH together, and it reminds me of something that Hot Lips Houlihan said to Frank Burns in an episode. She was trying to be sexy. I've said it to my husband. It didn't have the same effect. Flare your nostrils for me, Frank. From A Doubter's Almanac by Ethan Cannon. She was quiet, moving suddenly on top of him like a lion over her prey. Her eyes stayed wide. Andret liked to keep his closed, but whenever he opened them, there she would be, staring down at him, her black pupils gyroscopically inert. Again, leonine. Leonine? Whatever. The act itself was fervent, like a brisk tennis game or a summer track meet. She liked to do it more than once, and he was usually able to comply. Bourbon was his gasoline. Between sessions, he poured it at the counter while she lay panting on the sheets. I have a lot of opinions about this one, but namely, how creepy would it be to open your eyes? And 2015 nominee, Fear of Dying by Erica Jong. I felt a bolt of lightning go down my spine when you... Ding! Asher mumbles. Incredible. Never felt anything like it before. You raised the Kundalini, I say. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that is actually a line from the book. Kundalini Express, a great song by Love and Rockets, but Kundalini in Hinduism is a form of feminine energy that is said to be coiled at the base of the spine. The word comes from the Sanskrit word meaning coiled snake. This energy can then be awakened through yoga, mantras, asanas, and meditation, and, apparently, Asher. The winner of that year, List of the Lost by Morrissey. Like Stephen Patrick Morrissey, like the Smiths Morrissey. This is the same guy who wrote How Soon Is Now and The Queen Is Dead. And frankly, Mr. Chang, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you hear this. Eliza and Ezra rolled together into the one giggling snowball of full-figured copulation, screaming and shouting as they playfully bit and pulled at each other in a dangerous and clamorous roller coaster coil of sexually violent rotation, with Eliza's breast barrel-rolled across Ezra's howling mouth and the pained frenzy of his bulbous salutation extenuating his excitement as it whacked and smacked its way into every muscle of Eliza's body, except for the otherwise central zone.